The opening gambit, a world unseen. Imagine yourself walking through a crowded city street. Horns blare, screens flash, and voices clamor for your attention. You move with purpose, certain you're in control of every step, every choice. But what if you're not? What if the world around you is a chessboard and you're a pawn, moving according to rules you've never been taught? This is the silent game, a hidden system of psychological and societal forces that shape your thoughts, desires, and actions without you ever noticing. It's a game played not with pieces but with perceptions, and most of us don't even know we're in it. Consider this. Every day, you're bombarded with messages, ads that know your fears, headlines that stoke your anger, trends that pull you in like gravity. These aren't random, they're calculated, designed to steer you in ways you can't see. This isn't a conspiracy of shadowy figures in smoke-filled rooms. It's something older, subtler, and far more pervasive. It's the art of influence, perfected over centuries, rooted in the very nature of how we think and feel. Take a moment to reflect. When was the last time you questioned why you wanted something? A new phone, a political stance, even the coffee you drank this morning? Were those choices truly yours? In the early 20th century, a man named Edward Bernays, the father of public relations, understood this game better than most. He didn't just sell products, he sold ideas, reshaping society's desires with psychological precision. His campaigns, like convincing women to smoke as a symbol of freedom, proved that minds could be molded on a massive scale. This is where our story begins, not with a loud declaration, but with a quiet realization. The world is orchestrated, and you're part of the performance. The silent game is real, and it's been played for centuries. But here's the question that lingers. If you don't know the rules, how can you hope to win? Stay with us, because understanding this game might just make you untouchable. The historical roots, power and persuasion. The silent game didn't begin with the flicker of a smartphone screen or the hum of a television. Its roots stretch deep into history, where the art of shaping minds was honed by those who understood one truth. Control perception, and you control the world. To grasp the stakes of this game, we must travel back to moments when the rules were first written, moments that reveal how humanity's desires and beliefs have been sculpted with surgical precision. Let's start with Edward Bernays, a name you may not know, but whose influence still echoes in your daily life. In the 1920s, Bernays, armed with his uncle Sigmund Freud's insights into the human psyche, revolutionized how power operates. His Torches of Freedom campaign wasn't just about selling cigarettes, it was a masterclass in rewriting cultural norms. By staging women smoking in public as an act of liberation, Bernays didn't just boost sales, he reshaped society's view of women's freedom. He understood that emotions, not facts, drive behavior, and he wielded this knowledge like a chess grandmaster moving pawns. His work laid the foundation for modern public relations, proving that entire populations could be swayed by appealing to their subconscious desires. But Bernays was not alone in this game. During World War I and II, governments on all sides deployed propaganda to rally millions to their cause. Posters, films, and radio broadcasts didn't just inform, they manipulated, turning fear and patriotism into weapons. These campaigns weren't haphazard, they were calculated, drawing on psychological triggers to unify or divide. The silent game was at play, orchestrating collective will with chilling efficiency. Yet this isn't a modern invention. Over 2,000 years ago, Plato described a similar game in his allegory of the cave. He imagined prisoners chained in a dark cave, watching shadows on a wall, mistaking them for reality. Their captors controlled the shadows, and thus their truth. Plato's insight was profound. Those who shape what we see shape what we believe. From ancient philosophers to wartime propagandists, the silent game has always been about perception, about convincing people they're free while guiding their every step. These historical threads weave a troubling pattern. Elites, whether philosophers, governments, or marketers, have long understood that the mind is malleable. They've used this knowledge to maintain power, to sell ideas, to keep the chessboard tilted in their favor. But here's the unsettling truth. The tactics of Bernays and the propagandists didn't vanish. They evolved. Today they surround us, more sophisticated and invisible than ever. The question is, how do you navigate a game that's been played for centuries? One where the rules are written in the shadows. The psychology of control. How minds are shaped. The silent game thrives not because of shadowy conspiracies, but because of something far more intimate. The vulnerabilities of your own mind. Every decision you make, every belief you hold, feels like your own. Yet how often do you pause to ask why you think the way you do? The truth is, your mind is a battlefield, and the silent game plays out in its quiet corners, exploiting psychological mechanisms so subtle they're nearly invisible. To understand this game, we must uncover how our thoughts are shaped, how we're nudged, persuaded, and controlled without ever raising a flag of resistance. Consider the power of a single headline. A news story framed as crisis versus opportunity can shift your entire perspective, not because of the facts, but because of the emotions it triggers. This is no accident. It's the science of cognitive biases at work. Take confirmation bias. We gravitate toward information that aligns with what we already believe, dismissing what doesn't fit. Those who play the silent game know this, crafting messages that slide effortlessly into your worldview. Or think of the halo effect, where a single positive trait, like a charismatic leader's smile, makes you trust their every word, even when evidence suggests otherwise. Psychological experiments reveal just how pliable we are. In the 1950s, Solomon Asch showed that people would deny their own eyes, agreeing with a group's wrong answer just to fit in. Conformity isn't just social pressure, it's a reflex wired deep in our need to belong. The silent game exploits this, using social norms to steer entire populations. Ever wonder why a trend explodes overnight? It's not chance. It's the game, leveraging our instinct to follow the crowd. Then there's the dopamine trap. Social media platforms with their endless scrolls and notifications aren't just addictive by design, they're manipulative. Each like, each retweet, delivers a hit of reward, keeping you hooked while algorithms feed you content tailored to your biases. It's a marionette show, with your attention as the strings, pulled by those who understand the psychology of desire. The result? You're not just consuming information, you're being shaped by it, one click at a time. But here's the power in this revelation. To understand these mechanisms is to glimpse the rules of the game. By recognizing how your mind is nudged, through biases, conformity, or dopamine, you take the first step toward guarding it. The silent game depends on your ignorance. Knowledge is your shield. As we move deeper, ask yourself, if you can see the strings, can you cut them? The modern chessboard, media, tech, and power. The silent game has never been more pervasive than it is today. The chessboard has expanded, its squares now digital, its pieces your attention, your data, your very thoughts. In the modern world, the tools of manipulation, once wielded by propagandists and marketers, have been supercharged by technology, creating a landscape where influence operates at a scale and speed unimaginable a century ago. This isn't just a game anymore, it's a global system, and you're navigating it every time you pick up your phone. Consider the last time you scrolled through social media. The posts you saw, the ads that followed you, the videos that kept you watching. They weren't random. Algorithms designed with surgical precision curate your digital world, feeding you content that aligns with your biases and emotions. This is the filter bubble, an echo chamber that reinforces what you already believe, quietly narrowing your view of reality. It's the silent game at its most insidious, shaping your perceptions without a single overt command. Take the case of Cambridge Analytica. In the mid-2000s, this firm used data from millions of social media profiles to craft hyper-targeted political ads, swaying voters by exploiting their psychological vulnerabilities. It wasn't about facts, it was about feelings, fear, anger, hope, weaponized to shift elections. This is the modern chessboard, where your data is the currency and your mind the prize. Every click, every search feeds the machine, allowing it to predict and influence your next move. Then there's outrage culture. Media platforms thrive on division, amplifying stories that spark anger because anger keeps you engaged. The silent game doesn't just want your attention, it wants your emotions, knowing that an enraged mind is less likely to question, less likely to think critically. Targeted ads, viral hashtags, even the news you consume, all play into this system, turning your focus into a commodity traded by those who control the board. Yet amidst this digital storm, there's a flicker of hope. The same technology that binds you can also empower you. By understanding how these systems work, how algorithms manipulate, how outrage is engineered, you can begin to see the game for what it is. The modern chessboard is vast, but it's not unconquerable. The question now is, how do you move from being a pawn to a player, becoming untouchable, reclaiming your mind? The silent game thrives in the shadows of your unawareness. But what if you could step into the light? To become untouchable is not to escape the chessboard. It's to learn its rules, to move with intention, to reclaim the sovereignty of your mind. The forces of manipulation, from historical propaganda to modern algorithms, rely on your passivity. But armed with knowledge and resolve, you can rewrite your role in this game, turning vulnerability into strength. The first step is critical thinking, a shield against the relentless barrage of influence. Question the narratives you encounter. Why does this headline stir your emotions? Who benefits from your outrage? Media literacy is your compass here. By cross-referencing sources, seeking primary data, and recognizing bias, you can pierce the veil of curated information. It's not about rejecting everything. It's about choosing what to accept with eyes wide open. Self-awareness is your next weapon. Reflect on your own biases, those mental shortcuts that make you human but also exploitable. When you catch yourself nodding along to a viral post or dismissing an opposing view, pause. Ask, is this my thought? or one planted in me. Practices like journaling or meditation can sharpen this awareness, helping you untangle your true beliefs from those the game has sown. History offers inspiration. Consider whistleblowers like Edward Snowden, who exposed hidden systems of control at great personal cost, or grassroots movements that challenged powerful narratives through collective clarity. These examples show that defiance is possible, that individuals and communities can disrupt the silent game by refusing to play by its rules. But becoming untouchable isn't just about resistance, it's about creation. Define your values, seek out diverse perspectives, and engage with ideas that challenge you. By curating your own information diet, you take back the power to shape your reality. This is the heart of mental sovereignty, not invulnerability, but agency. The silent game wants you to feel powerless, but you're not. Every choice to question, to reflect, to act consciously is a move toward freedom. So, will you remain a pawn, or will you claim your place as a player? The final reflection, a new perspective. The chessboard stretches before you, its squares no longer hidden in shadow. You've seen the silent game, its historical roots, its psychological levers, its modern machinery. But now, standing at this crossroads, the question isn't just about understanding the game, it's about what you do with that knowledge. To be untouchable is to recognize that the world is orchestrated, yet choose to write your own score. It's a call to redefine your place in a reality shaped by unseen hands. Reflect on this. Every belief you hold, every choice you make, is a thread in a larger tapestry. Some threads were woven for you by media, by algorithms, by centuries of calculated influence. But others are yours to weave. The silent game thrives when you move blindly, but it falters when you act with clarity. What would it mean to live deliberately, to question not just the world's narratives but your own assumptions, to seek truth not as a destination but as a practice? The weight of history, from Plato's cave to Bernay's campaigns, reminds us that control over perception is an ancient art, yet so is resistance. Every individual who dared to question, every movement that challenged the status quo proves that the game is not invincible. Today, the stakes are higher. Technology amplifies the board, but it also amplifies your power to push back. You are not just a pawn, you are a potential master, capable of reshaping the game itself. So as you step away from this story, carry this question. What move will you make next? Will you let the silent game dictate your path, or will you carve your own? The world is watching, but more importantly, you are watching yourself. Choose boldly, because in that choice lies your freedom.